One of the students at Let's Talk once commented, "I want to know daily routine to learn English at home." This is the lesson for you, and not just for you, but a lot more students like you. Hi everyone, my name is Ridan and I welcome you all with a very big heart on Let's Talk. In today's lesson, I bring to you some of the most important tips that I used when I started communicating in English. These tips will help you get better at your communication skills. The first one that we have on the list is focus on communication skills. English vocabulary is vast. Grammar has a lot of rules, and pronunciation on top has a lot of content. How much can we understand? If you dive into the sea, you would not have one day when you'll be given a certification telling that you're perfect in communication. And thus, what we need to understand is whatever limited knowledge that we have today, we need to start learning and making use of those skills to start communicating with people. Because today's practice is going to give us the fruits later. And so, the most important thing that we need to start doing from today is forget about the rules and start focusing on communication, which in turn will give us direct results in our fluency and communication skills. The next tip that I have for you is don't translate everything. Now, when I was learning how to teach English in the UK, I had a professor named Mr. Declan Cooley. In one of the classes, he once told me, Pradhan, we do not translate everything from our mother tongue to English language. I asked him why. Declan said, it's very important for us to understand that the rules in my mother tongue are very different than rules in the second language or foreign language, that is English. So the rules of English grammar are different from the rules of my mother tongue. I cannot combine it together and translate everything word to word. And the teachers who do that, it's a very didactic procedure, my friends, and it's a failed procedure. How long can we go by doing so? A paragraph or a conversation, but nothing more than that, to be really honest. We really need to understand the fact that direct translation is a failed method, and we should not translate everything from our mother tongue to English language directly. There's no direct translation to aap, tum, tu in English. It is all referred to as you in English language. On the other hand, if you're reading an English text and trying to translate it in your native language, it might not be as bad. It will probably waste your time and confuse you a bit more. But at least it won't confuse the person you're speaking to. The next tip that I have for you in the list is watch or learn English only from those who you want to speak like in future. When I started out, I used to watch a lot of videos on YouTube of those particular people that I used to admire a lot and I thought were amazing speakers. So I think you must do that as well to kind of learn it from them. Now let us look at the next tip. The next tip is technology is your friend, so use it. As you've probably noticed from the tips and the lessons that we have shared on Let's Talk, the internet is a great tool for language learning. There's no denial of the fact that today's blogs, videos, and English websites can be used to learn English in a much more faster and better manner. I said that there was no magic technique for learning English, but if we imagine internet as one place, as the closest thing to a magic pill or program, I wouldn't be wrong if I say so. This platform helps you develop your communication skills in such a manner that no book possibly can provide you. So keep on using Wikipedia and other websites such as Let's Talk and LearnX to get better at your communication skills. The next tip that I have for you is listen to real English. Train your ears by listening to English spoken by native speakers or English podcasts which are full on Let's Talk website. Also practice listening without seeing written down words, which is also a very big hindrance when it comes to communication, because all your attention then goes to those words without basically activating your listening skills. So maybe stop doing that. It's time for you to listen and watch songs and movies without subtitles. Next tip that I have for you is surround yourself with English people. You don't need to be in an English-speaking country to surround yourself with English friends. Find ways to make English part of your everyday life at home. Like speaking English when you're going shopping, speaking with the shopping executive. For example, speaking English on a metro, speaking English when you're looking for directions with people on road, speaking English with strangers most importantly. What will happen in the end of the day? They'll say that you're trying to speak in English, and that is all. And that is all. The next tip is listen, speak, read, write, and repeat. Listen to a speaker, speak in English, read as much as possible in English. It could be novels, it could be books that you like, and most importantly, write your WhatsApp messages in English. Everything that you do basically has to be in English for you to get better at your English at home. The next tip is discover what type of learner you are. Are you an auditory learner who learns things better by listening to things? Are you a visual learner who learns things by looking at things, by watching videos? So if you think that you are a better learner, you learn things better when you listen to them, I suggest you find ways to listen to English, thus thereby improving your English. Or if you think that you learn by looking at videos, then you should watch a lot of videos. So decide for yourself. Keep a language log or journal is the next tip that I have for you. Writing as much as possible can be very, very interesting. Now, one should only follow this tip when that person is interested in it. Of course, nobody can force you to write, and therefore it is very, very important for you to do it only when you feel like, when you really feel that you're interested in doing that. For example, it's always a good idea to write down how you are feeling when you're very ecstatic, very happy, or you are in sorrow, God forbid. So it's always a good idea to jot down your feelings because it really helps you think deeply and write sentences in the correct format. Additionally, if you look back in earlier entries in your English log, you'll be able to reflect at how far you have come basically, and this will also help you get better in terms of getting motivated, most importantly. For example, if I have to tell you about the latest journal that I was writing, I have this very amazing book wherein my diary, wherein I write the golden moments of the day. So I write the top 3 things that happened with me, all in English. This helps me get better at my vocabulary and also my thinking skills as well. The next tip is know your level to improve your level. This is similar to the previous tip that I've spoken about, but in order to recognize your limitations, you need to first understand where you are in the present situation. Tests are always fun. Go to a language center or go to a website where free English tests are conducted and get to know what's your current level of English. Now, once that is done, start speaking English. Give yourself like 6 months or 1 month, 1 to 6 months. Check your level again and see if you have improved or not. It will again help you in motivating you as a learner and will help you get better at your communication skills and will also help you in understanding the areas that you have to basically work on yourself to become better in English communication. Next is pay attention to pronunciation from the beginning. I can't tell you how important this tip is. This is basically combining tip 6 and 7 into one concrete information, and that is one concrete advice. And that is, if you start pronouncing things wrongly from a very nascent stage, from the beginning, it will become your habit. Later, you would not even realize that you might be speaking perfect English, but your communication always sends across a wrong message. Use great tools such as a lot of videos on Let's Talk and a lot of other channels and platforms to help you get better at communication skills. But remember, only learn pronunciation from those people who you think are experts at it. Anybody who starts to teach might as well not be an expert. So choose your tutor accordingly. Next tip is turn on music in English. Rhythms have been found to stimulate and train your brain to improve learning. And therefore, it is very important for you to listen to some good English songs. They not only help you with your pronunciation, but also help you in getting better at vocabulary. And the last tip for the day that I have for you in the list of learning English at home is watch movies and carefully notice with active listening skills the dialogues and the keywords that the characters basically say during those films. What will happen because of this is A, you do not have words displayed on the screen, which basically takes your attention away in a much larger manner. I'm talking about subtitles. So once there are no subtitles, you will basically have your active ears trying to understand and make out what the speaker is trying to communicate. And therefore, it is very important for you to have active listening skills, which will help you get better at listening anyway in your English communication. That is all that I have for you in today's lesson of the daily routine that you can start to follow when it comes to learning English at home. I hope you enjoyed these tips and will use 1, 2, or 3 or all of them to get better at your communication skills. Thank you very much for being with me, and I hope you have a great day ahead. God bless.